Dearest gentle reader, we have a Cinderella story to discuss on a new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, the podcast where we like to discuss the shows and movies you love to binge. I'm Sam Holt, and of course I'm joined by Jagger May. We are talking everything Bridgerton, Season 4, Part 1. Jag, can we get a spoiler warning really quick?
We're about to spoil Bridgerton, so go back and watch it. I did it, and I'm a man, so...
First of all, I'm so proud of you. When I said I wanted to cover Bridgerton, you were the first to jump in and say, I'll do it. And you jumped in both feet, watching all 4 seasons. I'll say 4 now because we were into part 1. You are deep in this, though, so I'm excited to cover this with you. What do you think of just the world? Because I know this is new to you.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done for you. So just put this out here. Like, we did the Fourth Wing books. I actually got into those. Like,
I know
there are no dragons in here to mask the stuff. So like, it's a little bit rough, but this was fun to watch, and it made me check myself several times because I always tell myself this. You've heard me say this on this pod before. Not everything is for me. I'm just like a straight male. Not everything is for me. Mm-hmm. So like sometimes some of my complaints, I'm like, a dude wouldn't do that. But like, I'm like, but this is a woman writing about how she would want a dude to be. So like it's not everything's a gritty HBO realism, you know?
Yes.
This is fairy tale. And I've had to teach myself that. And it's just very, educational. That sounds gross. It's very
No, it's fine. Lean into it.
Yeah,
it could be educational.
to hear what women want sometimes. And it's sometimes silly as a man, but we should still embrace it and at least hear it.
Absolutely. See, I'm so proud of you. We're going to have so much fun covering this because we also have, I think there's an interesting dichotomy too of how we want to talk about this season. We haven't talked about the previous seasons, but we're going to talk about them really quick because this is a new storyline. The first season is, a friend's kind of situational, let's pretend to be in love and then we accidentally fall in love. Season 2 is an enemies to lovers. Season 3 is a friends to lovers. This is a true Cinderella story in terms of everything the way that it's laid out. So just to quickly go over the 4 storylines, which one was your favorite and how does this one sit for you compared to the other 3 that you watched?
I'm already more engaged in season 4 than I've ever been in all the other ones. Like, yeah. I told you pre-show that season 1, I'm like, fuck, why am I the one to do this? It's like, I know Alfredo won't. Like, Alfredo would cough, like, won't do things. I will do things.
Yes.
Like, my willingness to do things is way high, especially, like, if you emotionally hurt cough, like the writers of Game of Thrones, it's like game over. He can't come back from that. He'll never watch that. But like, so I was sad because I just don't, especially in this format, because I told you what I have with trouble with. It's not the romance part of it, actually. I hate this whole British society bullshit. I hate it. I hate modern American society for the most part.
Yes,
which brings it full circle of why I like season 4. Because Benedict Bridgerton is like the most interesting Bridgerton brother so far. Yes. He's very modern. Mm-hmm. Like he's a little gay. That's interesting. I'm not, but like good for him. I'm like, thank God this guy just fucks for a reason other than I'm a male and I want to dominate things or society deems it. I must have an heir. Like I like that. So.
That's so well put. Yes, he's not out there hooking up for any of those things. He's just curious for the world. And I think that him in this very big family and that curiosity and, he's an artist and he has all these other things and interests and he loves learning. Season 3, he was with this one woman who he was just so fascinated by because she was so intelligent, and so smart and so witty. You can tell he just loves people for who they are and loves learning about them because he's already in this very big family where you can tell each character finds ways that they're getting lost in their very big family. So he finds ways of finding himself, I think, through other people and other relationships and everything that he learns from other people. So it makes sense why right off the bat when he meets Sophie, he's intrigued right away.
Yeah, and to, with Benedict, you can't use the word like womanizer or
No.
whatever,
Oh, well,
because
the word is rake. That is what the term is in this society. A guy
well,
that just goes and sleeps around.
he sleeps around, but all the women are more than willing. That's what I want to bring up. Like, to me, he's like the ideal man who you want to be. Like, he's very respectful, sticking up for women. Even like he didn't even know who that housemaid was. He's like, hey, she doesn't want your permission, pal.
Yeah.
And then was willing to harm. He did harm himself. Back
Yeah.
then, a cut would end you.
Yeah. No.
You had too many runny poops. That's dysentery, baby. It's game over.
100%.
He's
Yeah.
willing to put on the line.
Yeah.
Like that's it. It to me, it kills the trope of you need to be a dickhead to like get laid with like multiple women. Just be kind of chill, and women will be okay with it. Maybe at the same time, homie rode the tricycle and his mom came in on it.
That was wild. I mean, I knew that because that's the thing. Every season kind of opens up with the mom being like, my son needs to get his act together because I need him to go out and get married. This was a really fun one to me because there was an illusion when Colin went traveling in season 3 that like he obviously went out and went and fucked around and he's coming home. But this was so direct that I really appreciated it for Benedict that he's like, okay, now this son needs to get his stuff together because the married ones are doing well and, in society, but they're also taking care of their families. And Benedict is just out getting drunk and sleeping with everyone.
Flip the script. Where does this one lay in all the seasons for you? Are you fucking with it, or are you still like season two's goated for you?
Season 2 is kind of goated for me. But this is doing a lot. I think depending on how they stick the landing on part 2, this could put it above season 2 for me. Because for me, it goes season 2, season 3, season 1. But now with part 4, with season 4, part 1, I'm really excited about how this is going to lay out going into part 2. And that's why I'm really hoping they stick the landing. But before we get into that, I want to make sure we remind everyone that's tuning in, listening, watching. We appreciate you guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can tune in for every other show and film that we like to cover. Currently, we are breaking down The Pit every Thursday. We've got every Tuesday trending headlines and movie news. And then every Wednesday, we've got Fallout. And on Sundays, we have Night of the Seven Kingdoms for you. Having a lot of fun with that one. So let's just dive right back in to the main part of the story. Obviously, we've got Sophie and Benedict in this Cinderella story. But Sophie's got such an interesting past and she's holding on to it. And I feel like there's parts that happen in romances, at least for me, where I get really frustrated because I'm a very direct person. Like if I like someone, my biggest problem is I'm like, I like you. And I'm like too direct about it. I don't play any games. So
That's a
the fact
lie.
that, no, it's true. I'm like, but then if I don't like you, I'm like, I don't like you. And then I like walk away. So lately it's been the second part. But anyways, just saying that you can tell she's holding on to all of her secrets of her past. And even after she gets let go from the house, if I were her, I would just be like, cool, I'm free. I'm going to go run and tell the truth to this guy that I met that I'm into. But she doesn't. She just continues to run away. And she keeps hiding this story. And he keeps saying, you look familiar. You look familiar. And I'd be like, yeah, we fucking kissed in the garden. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that was me. Like, I just don't understand. I feel like part 2, there's got to be another reason why she's not just like saying it. And that's, I think, what's making me really intrigued for part 2 to understand why she's continued to hold on to these secrets.
I mean that's interesting. I had to like speed run this, like Mario speed run it.
Yeah, you
So
did.
I didn't take it like that. I thought it's
Okay.
just that she's held on to this low self-esteem for so long from
Okay.
her stepmom that she just feels like she doesn't deserve more. So like bringing up all those other secrets, that's just digging up trauma that she feels like isn't going to bring her any benefit. And if anything, it'll bring a lot of judgment because I can imagine how hard it is to live in what should be your child home where you're treated as an equal, but you're not. And you don't have a mother figure that gives you confidence or a father figure that shows you, what being a good man is and whatnot. You don't have that good support system and you're treated as a servant. I just think she might be kind of beaten down.
Yeah.
Because what I'm interested in is I feel like the stepmom is hiding some shit
Oh,
because
100%. You can tell she
yeah,
is.
yeah,
You
because
weren't
like
written into the will, first of all. There's no way she's not written into the will, so she's
that
definitely hiding some paperwork.
that's what I'm saying, and I guarantee you, like her dad was very adamant, like I promise you're always going to be taken care of. Could there
Yes.
have been some oversight if he died? Maybe, but like he probably wrote something in there, and the mom has told no one about it, and
Hmm.
that's going to be the Uno reverse. Hey, I'm actually a high part of society and legitimized, and not like this bastard. And you
Yeah,
can marry me, which is still fucking stupid. You just marry her anyway. Like if you're clearly into her, like
yes,
it's not like you need her
clearly.
money, dude.
Yes, clearly you're obsessed with her, so just marry her anyways. But yeah, no, I think that's a good point. And I think, again, this is such a Cinderella trope in so many Cinderella stories. The dad, obviously, she doesn't, never has a mom, but the dad always passes when they're really young in terms of the storyline. So I thought this was really interesting because when you were getting the flashbacks and she's a little girl and then the stepmom comes in, I'm like, oh, dad's gonna get sick on the next, to your point, he's gonna have one.
Coughs and there's blood in the
Yeah,
napkin.
he's gonna have one coughing fit with blood in the napkin, and he's gonna be done in the next scene. But the fact that they have this funeral moment with her being, I would say closer to being an adult age, and then the stepmom saying, "Okay, well, I'm still gonna take care of you, but since your mother was a maid, you're going to be my maid, and that's how your lineage is going to work. Congratulations. I'm going to continue to protect you by keeping you clothed and fed and all of that." That was really interesting to me the way they laid that out because to your point, if she's holding all of this because she feels beaten down, what in the time period of her being very young to being an adult and then being cast out, how was that relationship? Because she keeps saying, I was allowed to be a part of lessons with the family kids. I was allowed to be present for those things. It seems if the dad was there, he would probably, I mean, I'm assuming we're probably going to get more flashbacks, not treat her like not a part of the family. But even when they walked up and I think it was one of the maids said, "Don't call him father in front of her." And she said, "Why? That's my dad. I'm going to call him dad." There must have been so many other things to continue to kind of, to your point, not beat this out of her. That's a poor way to say it, but like to bring her down in terms of where her place is. So it must have been a slower roll of that than I think what the typical Cinderella story has been.
Yeah, there had to have been some type of segregation in the house to
Hmm.
where you can't sit with us, and
Yeah.
at least the that one sister is mean as hell. The one
That
tries to
one
be
sister is
nice.
horrible. I do
Yeah.
like, this is kind of going into, I'm sure you've seen the movie Ever After. Okay, well,
Please.
we're just going to add to your movie list. But it's the Drew Barrymore Cinderella story, where in that situation there's two sisters and there's one nice sister. So I feel like I like that. This kind of makes more sense realistically to me that one sister would be, I want to be just like my mom, and it's going to treat people just the way that she does. And then there's going to be another one, and this one's kind of funny because she's a little bit simpler, but she's very kind and she doesn't understand why they're being mean to Sophie. She just doesn't get it.
It's like the mouth
Yeah.
of babes scenario. Like, because
Yeah.
she's simple, it's just black and white to her that maybe you should be nice.
Yeah. And ever after, the nice sister, she just feels guilty the whole time until you just need to go watch it. It's really good. Crying out loud. Gonna give you a bunch of Cinderella stories to watch this weekend. You're like, I'm not gonna do it. I did Bridgerton. That's as much homework I'm gonna do for you, Sam,
You
as
got to read
possible.
one of my books first, man. This is good. I've done like two for.
I'll read the books. Oh my god. If you guys don't know, Unbinged has a secret book club, and if you want to be a part of the book club, comment because we have a fun book club. I got the boys to read all
Will
the
do.
Fourth Wing books. I'm very happy about it.
Me and Cough. Alfredo, get him to read
Alfredo
any
can't
book of
read.
stuff.
We've already decided that. Everyone knows. Those that have followed us along are very aware. Oh yeah, Alfredo doesn't read. It's fine. Anyways, back to the story. I think watching them kind of fall in love further after the initial night is really interesting to me. Like their whole time at my cottage, flying kites and all of that fun stuff, I thought was really I thought it was cute and different. And you're watching their relationship kind of grow, and she's more interested to all the artistic sides of Benedict, and he's very interested in the fact that she speaks different languages and she's very educated and she's very smart. And I don't know. For me, it's nice to see a guy into a smart girl.
Yeah, because that part I liked. The initial part, episode 1, that's my first. That was like one of many times I'm like, a guy wouldn't do that. Like, especially Benedict. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been attracted to her, but like, again, if a dude was writing for a dude and writing honestly, not how like some like nerds write guys, you know, like sometimes when you read nerdy books and you like see someone like, no offense to like Brandon Sanderson type dudes, I'm like, yeah, buddy, that's not how women actually act, and it shows that you would know, you know. But like for me, this is a slight writing thing. Benedict would have hit on her just to make the other guy look bad, not to save her. Like, if that guy was clearly failing in a douchebag, I'm not saying I'm not being a douchebag, because I would be a douchebag in this scenario. I would flirt with her purely for sport, just so this other dude looks bad, you know? And I thought that would feed into his character a lot more, where like this guy's just kind of flirty, has zero room for commitment, and instead it was like this love at first sight thing. And maybe that's true, maybe, and again, it's written for what women want, but that's the one detail about Benedict I didn't like in the beginning. And I wish we would have gotten at least simple, hey, we're going to fuck and have fun. And then he realizes there's an actual smart girl, and then she disappears. That would have been a little bit more realistic to me. So I've had that happen. So a lot, actually.
Oh my God. I was just going to say, I was going to push back and say like, then I lost my train of thought after that last part. But no, I'm going to push back. You think that just women want to have love at first sight?
No, I don't think that. I just think this show's written to be like a fairy tale.
Well,
like,
of course it is. There's this Cinderella story. It is. But guys, do guys not want to fall in love at first sight? And I mean love specifically, not lust.
I think those are the same thing to an extent.
No, they're not.
Like,
they're two different things.
Okay. I mean, I could name 2 instances where I was like really into a girl like right away and it felt different. I really want to be. I guess there's.
It's a feeling. It's a real feeling.
It is, I guess. Yeah, it is. It's like the Lego Batman, you know, gift kind of. Like I've had that. I'd say 3 times actually in my life that I can name.
There you go. All right.
But I wouldn't say it was like all of a sudden people apart in the room and like you fall in love. It's like you have one like meet cute moment and then it kind of happens, you know?
Yes, but doesn't it linger in your brain?
A lot, yeah. I'm a
there
romantic,
you go. That's what that little lingering in the brain is the parting of. This is just done on TV, so the way that they show that
like a
is
physical manifestation.
Yes, it's a physical manifestation of what that's happening in your head, where you're like, oh, and your brain locks in. That's what the camera and everything else is doing in these, is to lock you into that moment for the character.
One might have been first sight, and like this one never got serious because like that's a whole complicated Jag lore. But like she was at one of my. I used to have huge Halloween parties.
Yeah,
and she showed up dressed as Spider-Man.
Nice.
And I said, "Who's the little boy dressed as Spider-Man?" And then she pulls her fucking
Yay! Oh, I like that.
And actually, it seems like Halloween is always a common theme for me.
That chicken attracts for me.
Another one was she's dressed as Kim Possible. That was a good one.
That's a good costume right there. Nice. Oh my God. All right, back to the
Masquerade. Man, I really do vibe with the 4th one.
You do. You vibe with masks. I think this is a lot. We're learning a lot about Jag in this episode. I'm down with it. Okay, but let's talk because there's a lot of different little storylines we can talk to, and I want to talk about what part 1 has done to set us up for part 2. But first, I want to go into Benedict's thought process here, because that's kind of where we're at. We're talking about the male thought process. So they're in the country. He's getting to know her. He's falling in love. The housekeeper catches it and calls him out and says, keep in mind, if she's a maid, yes, she's a guest in this house, but
you can't date the poor.
yes, literally, yes. Like don't give her hope in her station, all these things. And then they get back into town and he's obviously still hung up. The fact that she helps do up his button and he's playing with his button in the bar with the guys and he can't get her out of his head. But then the conversation and the stories of all how it's normal in the society for men to have mistresses. And so he gets it in his head. Well, they're really in love. And he sees that even one of the gentlemen brings his mistress to the bar. And he's like, okay, well, this is normal. And then we end part 1 with him asking Sophie to be his mistress. Like, that's just such a normalized male perspective to be like, well, this is the easy way. I'm not going to ask you to marry me, which is what happens in previous seasons when they're having these close moments of like, I just want to be with you. This is, I want to be with you, but I don't want people to know. The mistresses are hidden. How did you feel about that whole, were you picking up on the same thing I was, where I'm like, he's getting the, it's okay to do this from his guys?
I mean, for sure, but I didn't feel, I'm not, God, I hate coming on here to defend men. That's not what I want to do.
It's okay. I'm sure that there's plenty of other podcasts that are going to be multiple women discussing what this season was. This is different. And if you're in the comments and you're like, you guys aren't even talking about the stuff that we want to hear, that's fine. There's plenty of Bridgerton podcasts. We break down shows a little bit different, and we're going to have a dialogue about characters, writing, and everything else, and our personal opinions. So, Jag, please try to defend this man for me.
I think he's trying to get what he wants by playing by the rules, because like we see like how the aunties and moms are around there, where even if he wanted to just marry her, wouldn't that bring in a myriad of problems? Because the older brother is off in India because of contract reasons.
Because contractually he can probably only do so many episodes because they have to pay him too much. Yes, probably.
Exactly. Jonathan Bailey's got Jurassic World money now. So and that what's that Wicked money. So
yeah, he's got the
busy.
Wicked money.
But I think he's just trying to get, like, he's trying to have his cake and eat it too, but like not in a bad way, where if anything, the person who would end up being his wife would have all of the societal benefits, but I think none of the emotional things. And that's not great towards either woman. No. But I don't think he's trying to be a dick as much as he's trying to find a solution. However, that solution is wrong.
That's, I think, a perfect full circle way to describe it. And I think that makes sense. To your point, I don't think he's asking this, because even he looks confused. He's like, but this is the solution to our problem. Like when she walks away and says nothing and he's just like, I don't understand. This was the solution. He's not trying to make her his mistress because he wants to hide her. He's doing it because he just wants to be with her, and society's telling him he can't be with people of a lower station. So the only way to do that is to have a mistress. So to your point of male brain logical thinking, if not A plus B, I can do A plus C. I'm not going to make the leap and jump all the way over here. I'm going to do the linear thinking.
He's trying to make $1 out of like 15 cents essentially with her.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
Like, it's not the way, but I get how he would get there, because again, they live in a stupid ass society, and there's a reason why it didn't last long.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to kind of tie a bow on their story before we poke at some of the other storylines, because there's some really fun ones in here too. But the whole thing with the stepmom and the sisters, we leave part 1 knowing that there is a new family moving in next door. And in the preview probably didn't have time to check the preview because I know you were going really quickly through all of the material that I gave you. But the little preview is that the family that's moving next door to the Bridgertons is the stepmom. So whole new drama is set up for part 2 in terms of...
Holy shit. I actually missed that. I missed that detail.
No, it's
They're fucking neighbors?
They're going to be neighbors. It's in the preview for part 2. So that's why you missed it. That's why you missed it.
I was just like, how did I miss? Like, that's nuts.
You're like, that's huge. But the buildup was there. It was like, well, have you seen the new neighbors? No, I've only seen one person. But yeah, it's going to end up being them, which is going to be wildly problematic because it's very clear and obvious that the stepmother has gone out of her way to send letters to every single family in the town to not hire Sophie, and did not really elaborate on why, but basically said that she was horrible and not trustworthy and all of these other things.
She steals the silverware.
she steals the spoons. She steals the spoons, and she will scuff your shoes. But all of these things, and so that's right away. As soon as, because Sophie's a lady's maid, so she's going to be right there with Eloise and with Hyacinth, which means she's always going to be with them when they're out in society. So when they go to the shops, she is going to be following them to help them with anything that they need. So naturally, she's going to be out in the world, and the stepmom's going to see her. What that drama is going to look like when they have that meeting, I think, is going to be really juicy.
Man, fucking Cho Chang. Good for her. Like, she's so mean, dude.
She's great in this. She is really great in this. But when I knew she was going to be in here, I was like, oh, that's so awesome. She's going to end up playing, my brain was thinking she's going to play someone trying to hook up with Benedict Bridgerton. Like, oh, she's going to be, but no, she's a mom. And I'm like, my God, I'm old. Like, that's very upsetting.
We're just old as shit.
We're just old as fuck.
Yeah, because she's older than me. Like, she's like, because I actually I had the same thought. I'm like, no. And I was
wait,
like,
how old is she?
1989, I think, 1988. So
okay, yeah, I'm older than her. Thanks. Yeah, this is great.
Sam, it's fine. We're at the point where we're counting decades, not individual years, right? You know.
I don't want to count decades. It sucks.
You look
Anyways,
great. You're gonna.
Thanks. Botox works really well. But no, this whole storyline I think is really interesting because, again, there's so many Cinderella stories of tropes of wicked stepmothers. And for me, as soon as she kicked her out, I was like, oh, well, that's a pretty quick way to lose control of someone, is to let them go. But she's so manipulative. She's finding ways to control her even when she's not in her house. So that, I think, is more menacing.
And I don't know if we have the time because, like, there's a whole thing with Mama Bridgerton, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Good for her, find confidence in your body, but let's be honest, this is like a C plot. I don't really give a shit. Like, I want her to be happy. I just don't need to see it. That's what I'm saying.
Are you saying you don't? But I thought that was a really well done scene. You didn't like? I wasn't.
I told you that, like, not when we do part 2, I'm going to rewatch this again at, like, normal speed where I don't feel fucking pressure. Because, like, now, like, when I have, like, I'm under the gun to record, I'm just like, oh, come on, just kiss already. That's my biggest problem with this is, like, I'm like you, Sam. I'm such a free person, whatever. I don't really think or care about what people think about me a lot, and to my detriment. I'm not even saying that as, like, a flex.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, why don't you guys have sex to feel like you like each other or not? Just get this out of your system. That's my solution to everything. It's like, you should have sex about it. And if you want to talk to her when you're done, then you probably like her. And vice versa.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I want from Mama Bridgerton. Have sex with him. Did you have a good time? Okay, well, keep doing it. You know?
We have some things in common. Not 100% of that is in common, but that's okay. we get each other, and that's important. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I mean, in terms of other storylines, you did bring it up because you wanted to ask me about what the relationship was between the Queen and Lady Danbury and their friendship. So I think that's a really interesting too, because this whole season feels like a very big microscope on the class system, to your point, of this society. I mean, I really liked how episode 1, we watched Benedict fall in love with this person that he met at the masquerade. In episode 2, we see the behind the scenes of what Sophie's life really is. And from this perspective, we kind of dig into what the maids and what everyone else's life is really like. They do all have salaries. They do all have other families. They all have other things going on to support them while they are supporting these families. And from that interesting viewpoint, we then have Lady Danbury with the Queen, where she was a lady in waiting with the Queen, and she's now her very close friend and close confidant. But when she says she wants to go out into the world and travel, the queen gets very scared that she's going to lose her best friend and tries to queen it up and put her in her place and say, no, I forbid you. You can't leave me. And has that whole moment. So that to me was also really interesting of like why I think I'm going to end up liking this season more than past ones, because there's so much more depth behind learning of this society and this culture, the way that they're building it in this world. Because I'm very aware this is very unique to Bridgerton. This little snow globe of Bridgerton is very unique. But I really like what they're showing on the depth of these characters.
Another show that you'd be surprised that I really like, and one
That does
reason
the
why I
same
got,
thing.
well, yes and no. I'm gonna bring it. You know, it takes me a while sometimes to
I
land
know.
the plane, but I always
Yes.
do.
You do. You'll land
It's
this
the
plane.
Crown. It's the Crown.
Yes, The Crown. I was gonna say,
Have you watched that show?
I haven't watched The Crown, but there's another one.
Downton
What was it
Abbey.
called? Downton Abbey. Yeah, Downton Abbey does that really well. And I
Yeah.
really liked Downton Abbey. Yeah.
Yeah, you would love The Crown. Like this, to not detract from Bridgerton. All it did was really make me want to watch The Crown, because like that's a show I watched on accident, and then I'm like, I woke up like 3 seasons later. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like way into this weird show.
I have so many questions. Like, how did you accidentally start watching The Crown? Was this like an accidental date reason that you started watching The Crown, or did you happen to click through and you're like, you just hit play on accident?
I had play on accident. Actually,
Wow,
is what
okay.
happened. And it was the
Interesting.
wrong thing. And I kept going. And
What did you think it was?
I actually don't even remember anymore, but I remember the
But you're like,
Hans
"But The
Zimmer
Crown,
opener. Yeah, like, but the whole point of what made The Crown interesting is that it wasn't like fetishizing British society so much as like this good thing, and what you watch is the monarchy become irrelevant. And I wonder if through Lady Danbury and through Queen Charlotte, if we kind of see all their societal rules become irrelevant. Does that make sense?
It
Where,
does.
like,
It does. Yeah.
it's like all this shit is like, oh, the lady in waiting, ha ha ha, titles. Like it's really stupid, you know. And I wonder if they come to that conclusion. And when you have two pillars of society that are the matchmakers, tastemakers, etc., do they start to make fractures and start to make exceptions to rules, especially when you have someone like Benedict Bridgerton and Sophie that want to be together? Do you start to make some of these exceptions?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. And to your point of like, is this relationship just going to kind of show the queen that in order to follow the typical society rules and how she wants just a friend, the best way that she can do that is to add to her, ladies in waiting, that Lady Danbury's showing her. But I think what she's also going to show, and hopefully she's going to learn in part 2, is that Mrs. Mondrich, Lady Mondrich, what is it? Lady Kent, because her son now has the title. This character is such a good friend confidant that Lady Danbury recognizes the queen needs more people like her around her. And I think that's going to be really fun to watch, and maybe to your point, breaking a little bit of the societal norms because she's the queen and she can do what she wants. Because, I mean, you'll have to go back and watch Queen Charlotte, because there's a lot of that in there where, she realizes her own power and the fact that she is the queen and all of that, and it's really fun. But again, I've already made you watch too much homework, and I feel like if I add one more thing, you guys won't let me
What's
do my
nuts
shows
is,
anymore.
like, Bridgerton's like the one show that I like haven't watched. Like I'm generally pretty open to watching most things, weird anime. This is the one show that like, damn Sam, like it's this one. Anything Taylor Sheridan, like.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that we've pretty much covered the main storylines. There's a bunch of little things. To your point, you brought up, Violet Bridgerton. She's finally finding new love. Congrats, Mom. She went out and got hers. They've been talking about her needing to water her garden, and that's how they've put it for 3 seasons. So good for her. It finally happened. Eloise is still fighting, trying to join society and wanting to start courting anyone. She just doesn't find men interesting, which I get her perspective in this because everyone that she seems to be meeting in here is bad. But we know that there's going to be a season for her coming up. So that's all more to come. And then we've got part 2. What are you looking forward to in part 2? Or are you more so looking forward to watching part 1 again, so at not a crazy fast pace, so that you can be better prepared for part 2?
Definitely that. I want to see Cho Chang get her comeuppance, or maybe. I think I missed this. Like saying this point, like I started and then didn't. I actually didn't land that plane.
It's
that
skidded.
like I'm curious to what made her be this way, to where she feels so threatened by another heir. You know, because she had kids already. So I'm curious about backstory on that. But other than, is this the last season? Is this the final one, or is this?
No, this is just season 4. There's a lot of other books, and plus it's called Bridgerton because this family has so many kids.
So many kids. I was about to say, like, we got to go through every kid to get married.
So
basically.
we've gotten Anthony's story. Benedict is this one. Colin, I'm going in order alphabetically because that's how they are. Colin, we've already got him married off. Daphne's been married off. Francesca, she's been married off, but her story's not done. Not sure if you've picked up on that. She's the one who couldn't find her pinnacle. Did you notice that?
Mm-mm.
You were going too fast. Go back and rewatch. There's one character that just can't find, and I'm going to say it. She's trying to find an orgasm and she can't. So that's really fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The word. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
I did notice that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, I wonder if Jag's even going to pick up on what the word is. He's like, oh, she just can't get off. Good for her. Or sad for her.
I'm a caveman, Sam. You know that. I'm just like...
I know. If I use all the language, you're going to be like, why is she speaking French all of a sudden in the middle of this podcast? I don't understand what Sam is saying. Anyways, we have that whole storyline to finish up because her storyline is that she ends up falling in love with someone else. Spoiler alert, but there's plenty of people that are aware in the books. The cousin comes in, Michaela, which is in the books, it's Michael. So there's going to be another little love triangle there. And then you've got Gregory and Francesca too. So you've got all of these kids that all need to get married off, and we're still working through them. So, and Eloise as well. Forgot to say her. Anyways, lots of fun stuff. So I'm excited to see how they try and land the plane with, if they try and land Francesca's story or if she's going to get another season, how they tie things up with Benedict and Sophie. And then I'm imagining they need to land things in a way that sets up Eloise's season to come next. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. Any final thoughts?
No, Eloise, I don't get men in this universe. She seems very interesting, but like you said, maybe she just doesn't find them interesting. So,
yeah, I think she's just too curious and intellectual in a different way that she's gonna end up finding her intellectual man in another season. And that's not a spoiler because everyone knows the books and everyone has gone and done the Spark Notes online. So I don't feel like I'm spoiling stuff for people that are the real big fans. But maybe it's a spoiler for you, Jag, but you're just down. So anyways, thanks guys for tuning in to another episode of Unbinged. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow. We will be covering part 2 as soon as that drops. I'm looking forward to talking more Bridgerton. Talk to you guys soon.